Welcome back to the channel, pretty people. Today's show, we're going to take a look at these two girls that finally came in the mail after only 2 whole weeks of waiting for them to make it here from China. Never doing that again. Before we get started, I just want to invite you pretty people who have not subscribed and joined our little club over here to make sure that you subscribe. If you like content like this, all about dolls, this channel's for grown-ups, not for little kids, okay? Also, I wanted to give a quick shout out to a couple of my regulars in the comment section. Jackie Cook, Simone N, Maxine Andrew, Annie's Playhouse, all of you guys. You ladies are not everybody in the comments who I see all the time, but if I had to list all of you guys, we'd be here for like the whole entire video. So just real quick, I wanted to shout those 4 people out. Thank you so much. I love hearing you guys' comments. My favorite thing about the way that these ladies comment is that they don't leave me emojis and like 2 words. They actually pour their hearts out in the comments and give me something to read and respond to. I'm not the creator who wants to see just like fan mail, basically. Like, I want substance. So I love it when people tell me their actual opinions about things. It really helps me to put things into perspective. And sometimes you guys actually change my mind about different takes that I have when I hear your logic. Okay, so the thing about these girls, I have never had Defa Lucy dolls in hand ever. All right, I did order the model number 2 from the Paris collection, mainly because she was the only one that wasn't sold out on their website. Because I would have, ordered any of the other ones if I could get my hands on them, but that's the only one that I could get. So I'm like, I'm about to wait forever for this $90 doll. Let me see if there's anything else that I want to try. I have been debating about whether or not to get these more playline versions of the dolls for months now, and I had yet to make a decision because I don't like the prices on AliExpress and Temu. Considering the shipping and the tax, I just could not justify it for a doll that I'm just completely experimenting on. I know that sounds crazy because you're like, you just told us you bought the $90 version, dummy. I know, but I'm saying the $90 version, they're not like these ones. They're a little bit different. The body types are a little bit different. The clothing style and quality is completely different. So I'm taking less of a chance with the fact that I will like those versions versus these. I finally found them at prices that I could live with, which I still think is too high, to be honest. I think this one I paid $24 and this one I paid $28. Something like that. Sometimes AliExpress and Temu will be lying, trying to tell you, oh, it's a 50% off sale. No, it's not. It's always them prices. What are you talking about? I'll be on there every day looking. But whatever. They are already very different from what I'm used to with Barbie dolls, in that the way that they're packaged. Look at these boxes. They are... This part here is plastic. What? The top and the bottom lids are plastic, not cardboard. Nobody ever mentions this when I watch reviews of these dolls. Why are you guys leaving this out? That's not a big deal. Like, there's an actual lid that you can just pop open. It's sealed closed with tape, as you can see on this one. It's still there. But that totally shocked me, okay? I can't wait to get these open. So let's take them out of the box right quick. I mean, look at this. The box. It's so neat and clean when you take the insert with the doll out of it. You can just slide her out. And then the top just goes right back on. And you can like store dolls in here, maybe display dolls in here. It's so neat and nice for someone who likes to have their dolls in box. Very thoughtful to think of the inbox collectors by designing the box this way. This is all regular like plastic that we see on doll packaging. This here is like acrylic. What the freak? Bro, and y'all know I hate box openings. I don't care about a box. That I'm like this excited about packaging is ridiculous. Anyways, this is from the Love Collection, if you're wondering which dolls these are. These dolls also come with stands, so I gotta remove this box to get to the base of the stand. This is freaking me out. All the eyeballs is a little bit creepy. I don't know about all of that. The stand assembly works much like the Mattel standard stands, although the grip part here looks a little skinnier to me. Is their waist smaller than a standard Barbie, but they have a solid base, and it does feel a little bit heavier, even though it is hollow plastic, but it feels a little heavier because of that extra piece down there than a Barbie's standard stand does. I want to see where the stand ends. Oh, it's the same height. Okay. So even though I haven't done a proper like detailed review on a specific doll in a while. I do kind of want to do that with these girls because I've never had these before, and I just want to really examine them the way that they are. Now, I saw that on the back of their heads they have little codes, and these dolls have 2 different numbers. So hers says DF57 and hers says DF49. Not familiar with why those codes are there, but tell me in the comments if you recognize those codes to mean something. I initially wanted to get just this doll because she's the one of all of the Defa Lucy Playline versions that I like the most, mainly due to the fact that she's got purple highlights and purple color scheme, and purple is one of my favorite colors. But I didn't want her to travel from China by herself, so I was like, if I'm gonna get her, since I have to wait so long for her to get here anyway, might as well find a little companion. So that's why I went with the green version too. And I thought that these girls had the same head sculpt but with different screenings because they look so similar. But now that I'm looking at them close up, I'm realizing they are not the same sculpt. They have very similar nose shapes, but their faces are different. Now, you can't tell here, but this crease here in her eye, the lid is an actual like 3D crease. You can actually feel it in her sculpt, which is not something I expected. But on this face, everything is flat. So clearly they're not the same sculpt just from that alone. And you can see the lip shape is slightly different, but I thought it was just looking different because the lipstick was drawn on differently on each doll. No, the actual shape of their lips are very different. If you look at the sculpt itself, they're not the same. So that was a pleasant surprise for me because I really expected for them to be the same face, but they're just very similar looking. They look like sisters. Even the nose shapes are very, very slightly different. This one has a little bit more of a pointiness in the middle of the nose. It's like so hard to tell. You can barely tell, but can you guys see how the nose a little bit here in the middle, it protrudes a little bit more than the other one down at the bottom of her nose? I know it's so subtle of a difference, but I'm telling you, it's not the same. So I really love that about these dolls, that you actually have an option of face molds to choose from. And this one, much like all the other dolls that I noticed with side glances, has a more playful, youthful kind of a look. She really reminds me of like a very young adult who's maybe in her late teens or early 20s that still has no idea how to adult yet. And this one looks more like she's thinking about something. She has a very far away, dreamy kind of look. She feels more mature than that one. You know what I'm saying? Even though she's just as colorful and bubbly looking, but she just looks like she's got a job that she has to wake up in the morning early to get to. And she can't be out partying with her girlfriends all night long. Like, she looks a little more responsible, if that makes sense. So I love that different feel that these characters are bringing with just the way that they come originally. Even with all these bright colors on, just a very nice change in the vibe between the 2 dolls. She really feels like this one's little sister or her younger cousin, you know. I love that. Now, they both have these really cute bobos in their hair with like the different colors. And that overall, can I just say overall, I really wanted to check out this doll because I don't trust Asian companies to do justice to a character that's supposed to be presenting a black person. Now, I myself am half black and half Korean, so I remember growing up in Korea with those Mimi dolls, and nothing about, even to this day, I don't think they've made one black Mimi doll to talk about. But the style of the doll is very cute, but I remember thinking as I was playing with those dolls that I just couldn't relate to them and didn't know how to present myself with those dolls. And those were all that was available for us kids to play with that were like Barbie scale dolls in Korea. And I'm not the only person who's a Blasian in Korea. I'm sure there are other people who are mixed like me that maybe didn't have the opportunity to come move here to America, that just grew up there and they just never saw themselves in the toys, you know? So seeing an Asian company deliberately making a black character? I'm like, okay, let me see, right? So I wanted to see how this doll would look in person. I'm shocked that she's actually pretty. She's got pretty makeup scheme. She's got a believable lip color. Like, it doesn't look too gaudy and ridiculous on her skin tone like we see sometimes with even veterans like Mattel. Loving the color scheme of the hair highlight combination. The brown and the purple look so good together. And I'm really impressed at the work they put into this doll and this believable skin tone that they gave her as well. So I like her. I mean, I shouldn't be shocked that I like her because I wanted to like her, but I don't know. I think I felt like the quality of these dolls would, if they were subpar compared to a Barbie, I wouldn't be shocked, you know? Because I'm like, why are they priced like this? What is up with these prices? So I'm glad to see that I'm not getting that from them. But of course, we don't know until we take the hair down to see if the rooting is looking like trash or not. On Miss Green here, we're seeing some differences in the features that she has. Like, her eye color is a very bright, kind of like a green color. Yeah, her eyes are straight up green, like pure green, which is really cute. And you see these big sparkly eyes that she has. This is what reminds me of like that Asian style, the anime style that we see with dolls like Momoko and Mimi and Lika-chan and those kind of dolls that originate from Asia. They love giving their characters these giant wide eyes. And in case you didn't realize, big wide eyes is associated with American people and foreigners to Asians because naturally they don't have eyes this shape. So this is their idea of like an exotic look, okay? So I like the fusion of that Asian aesthetic with these dolls, even though obviously they don't look like traditional Asian characters. And I love that like the clothing style also has that kawaii kind of aesthetic to it, which is very, very customary in Asian dolls. You just see that a lot with these cutesy looking clothes and colors and styles. Asian women in general, like even in real life, they kind of balance the cute look with the grown and sexy look somehow. Like, they're able to wear things that seem like they look childish, but then when they have it on, it's still like cute, but not like in a little kid kind of way. I hope that makes sense what I'm saying. They're just able to balance cuteness with like adult at the same time. It's so weird. I'm seeing that reflected here. I feel like if these girls had, you know, transplanted themselves into an Asian country, they could totally get away with this look every day and they would just blend in with all the other women in their age group walking around. For me, this is kind of nostalgic to see because I'm not used to seeing this on American dolls, and it really takes me back to my childhood when I was in Korea, and these are basically the only kinds of dolls that we had available there. But if only I had the option of finding dolls that had Hispanic skin tones or black skin tones, how much more satisfaction I would have gotten from my dolls back then. Taking a look at their clothing, they do have different amounts of pieces that they both come with. Green here comes with a hoodie that has these really cute ruffled sleeves that are like just really feminine looking. And the hood actually has a working pocket, so she can put her hands inside the pockets. Yay. It has a drawstring that is actually a working one. What in the world? Like, it's not just sewn on. It's actually in the hood, you guys. This is insane. Did not expect that kind of detail. Everything is all stitched and just detail. What? The quality is unexpected for me. And then looking down at her bottom, she's got this little teeny tiny short skirt on. This is so Asian. Like, I don't know what it's like in other Asian countries, but I know in Korea, girls can walk around with their entire leg up to their thighs showing in tiny little skirts like this, and nobody thinks it's inappropriate. But the moment a bit of your cleavage is showing, everybody's like having a fit. What are you doing? Where are you going? Why are you dressed like a prostitute? So this to me is spot on as far as the little teeny tiny dress, but her top being covered up more. Each doll comes with these cute little socks with lace trim and a bow on each side. And this doll has flat shoes, which is very interesting, that are on a platform. I was thinking the dolls looked tall inside the box, but I think it's just that their shoes are just tall, are just making them taller. So we'll have to compare them to some Barbies to see if they actually are taller. This one, she has purple striped socks with bows in the front, no lace, and she's got high heel shoes on. These shoes also look like they have a left and a right foot, like a dedicated side. But the green shoes, to me, they don't look like they have dedicated sides. So we'll have to go and check that out too. She's got on a skirt as well, but her skirt looks a tad bit longer. We've got 2 layers here with the ruffly bit on the bottom here that's like folded under, so it's a little bit thicker. This piece here covering that. She's got this furry coat on. What? It's lined on the inside? Okay then. And she's got this little tank top underneath that I'm guessing must open in the back with Velcro. And both of these girls have the bubbles in their hair, but they're different colors. So one's got purple and yellow balls, and the other one has green, blue, and pink balls. I wish those were removable. I'm kind of scared to take them down because I have a bad experience with a Mattel doll who had a little bow like that in her hair, the Margot Robbie doll. And when I took the hair down, her bow was not reusable. What the heck? It was just stuck on there with a T-tag. Ew, Mattel. So I'm kind of scared that I'm going to see the same thing with these, but I guess I won't know until I take it down. Each girl comes with accessories, including purses. This one's handle is like in a bizarre shape. It's kind of strange looking. And this one has a very unconventional shape. They're both hard plastic. That's nothing too special, but definitely not molds that I've seen previously in any doll company. They're not like reused mold from somewhere. The other accessory I see are their glasses. Basically like tinted sunglasses maybe. One's purple, one is green to go along with their outfits, and they look like they're 2 different shapes as well. Yeah, this one has little jagged lines at the top, and then this one has flowers around the edges. That's interesting. The glasses look huge though, so I'm wondering, are their heads like really big compared to a Barbie, or is it just that they've got big eyes so they can get away with those huge frames? So this one's held down with some elastic band here. Let's see if I can get it off. Whoops, fix the hair. Because I'm very curious as to how these will fit your face, ma'am, madame. They are a little bit loose. Woo, they're really loose. Okay, let's try again. I've kind of squished the glasses a little bit so that they're not so wide, and this is how they fit on her face. They're definitely oversized. Okay, this is ridiculous. Where are you going looking like this? Like, ma'am, definitely too big. But in her hair, they're absolutely cute and adorable, and that's where they belong. They are just a hair accessory in my book. So, but that's usually what I do with my dolls' glasses anyway. I very rarely put glasses on the faces of my dolls, so I want to see their faces. I'm a face person. I don't like to cover their faces. That's not a bother to me that she can't wear the glasses on her face properly. I mean, she can, but she's gonna look like somebody who escaped a mental asylum anyway. Alright, so some things that are a little bit irksome to me though with these dolls is that the hair fiber, it does not feel like saran, nor does it look like it. It's extremely shiny. I think this is nylon. The weight of this hair is like real fluffy and light. I prefer for my doll hair to be very heavy, you know, have a little bit of weight to the fiber. And that's why I love saran hair, because it's more weighted and it doesn't just fly around everywhere like this hair is doing right now. So I'm a little frightened to take this hair down because it feels like the same grade of fiber, and I do like the style that it's in already, so I might just leave her hair alone for now. I am noticing that both of them do have middle parts that go all the way down their heads, so I'm wondering what the hair is like under there once you take it all down. I am gonna risk it though, because this one is already very like messy looking to me. So for her, I'm going to take the hair down just so I can get a better idea of the scope of the texture of the hair. And I have a feeling that I am going to have to do some type of treatment with this hair. I can't just take it down and like style it and keep it moving. She's going to need some kind of heat treatment so that her hair will lay flat and be neat looking. I am also very curious about their bodies. So we're going to take the clothes off so we can take a better look at the bodies. And since we're going to be doing her hair, I'm going to pull everything off of her. They should technically have the same body. I see one little difference, but other than that, which I will point out, everything else should be the same. Green is derobed now, and you'll be shocked to see that this body is actually a very familiar one to us. It is pretty much a copy of the Mattel Gigi body, which is just their original body type with articulation, just standard articulation. Very similar mold. They almost look identical. I mean, you can kind of see that this is basically a clone of the same body. And the hands, which are slightly smaller than a typical Barbie's hand, the hands are also the same shape as the Barbie hands. My camera does not want to focus, but I promise you, they're pretty much the same shape. You can tell that this was molded after this. When we look at the feet, these both have flat feet. There's a little bit of a difference only in that the foot size looks tinier, like a little bit smaller. They look like baby feet. But they have actual like toes molded into the foot mold. So this is the only difference. But other than that, they pretty much look. See, they're the same size, pretty much. Mattel's version is just a teeny tiny bit bigger, but not by much. So they should fit the same shoes. And for mobility, everything is the same. The joints basically do all the same things that the Mattel's version of this body does. So that's nothing new, but there is a difference in that the lower half of the limbs are kind of rubbery. Not rubbery in the sense that it's like loose and it'll just move around. You got to force it, but you can move the limbs there, which you can't do with the hard plastic that they use for the Barbie version of the body. But that's neither here nor there because it doesn't make a difference in how you like handle the doll. It's still gonna move and work the same way as a regular Barbie doll's body would. So that's basically the main difference. Now between her and her, there is a difference because I've discovered that this one, her foot is not flat. It is actually a high heel mold. And she also has independent toes, which should be really fun to paint the toenails of. But everything else is the same for her as well. Even though her feet are flat, her shoe still fits. But on this foot, the high heel foot, the green shoe doesn't fit. So, Another observation I'm making about these dolls is that they do not have squishy heads. They're very hard, like an Integrity Toys doll's head. So that may or may not be a deal breaker for some people who don't like to deal with hard heads swapping bodies. But because they already come with a standard articulation type, I don't think it's necessary for you to actually swap these dolls' bodies. But of course, some people just have to have certain types of bodies on display in their collection, model muse or made to move or whatever it is that you want to use, a different body type maybe. If you are planning to do that with these dolls, you will need to heat their heads, which is disappointing for someone like me who cannot be bothered. I'm too lazy to have to do all of that, which is why I've been modifying all of my dolls who I use as body donors. Their neck pegs here, I've been shaving them down to mimic the Easy Swap neck pegs that come with the Barbie Basics dolls. I still need to do that with this one, but that's what I've been doing. So I don't have that problem and I can just pop heads on and off without using heat. And unfortunately, I cannot do that with these dolls because I have to heat their heads first. The dorkest malorkest that I am, I'm so happy that these hair ties are all connected to a band and I can reuse them. Whew, thank you. And another little thing I don't like about these dolls is that they don't come with pierced ears. Oh, it's already bad enough that their heads are freaking hard as hell, but now I gotta pierce them too? Come on. But that's a really small hang up that I'm having compared to what I do like about the doll in general. Because this hair is so feathery, I'm just taking down one side of her pigtails to get a look at her scalp because I don't want to make a mess out of her hair. It's already very like flyaway-ish. That's not a word. But you see her scalp is tinted with the same color as the brown part of her hair. I'm gonna say this is a decent amount of rooting that I'm seeing. This does not look sparse to me. It doesn't look like she's got bald spots. It's just the ordinary standard amount of hair that you would see. It's not like so much hair, but it's also not thin. So I'm satisfied with that. Because it's parted down the middle like completely, you can style this doll's hair into styles like this where you have to split the hair in half. Pigtails or ponytails that you want to do that way. Braids even. So I'm kind of excited to see what styles I can give to this doll. And the hair texture is so slippery. Like, it's just really, really slippery. I'm not used to working with this kind of hair, so I'm gonna have to be challenging myself really to get a good style out of this that I want to see. And it is, as you can see, so long. Like, it's way down past her booty. If you want to cut it down shorter to make it a little more manageable, you absolutely have tons of length here to work with to do that. But for mine, I think I'm going to keep her like this for a little while. I'll be trying to tame this hair so I can see what it looks like when it's like all just flattened and down. But the texture is very straight, so I don't know, maybe a nice boil wash will do something for her, or I might have to pull out my flat iron. We'll see. Now, will I be restyling purple and green here? The answer is hell to the yes. That's what I do. But I'm not going to do it in this video because in case you guys didn't know, I'm still recovering from a series of strokes that I had back in June, and I've gotten a lot of my functionality back, but my body tires out very quickly, and I have a lot of vision impairment at the moment. I don't have the same stamina that I used to have when I would film videos and like handle my dolls. So I have to break this up into multiple videos, but I will be coming back with these two girls to give them a fresh restyle and blend them into the rest of my collection, because even though they're very cutesy is not the look I'm going for in my collection. I need them to be looking like regular chicks that you would see walking down the street anywhere. I already did that with Selma back there and with Margot Robbie doll here and some other girls, but you see I still have some that are in their original condition that are waiting for a restyle. And in an upcoming video where I change their look, that's where you'll see how I restyled them and what I did with Green's hair. But I'm very excited to try out some different looks on these girls. But I do have a bunch of new clothing that I got for my Barbies, so hopefully I'll be able to fit something onto these girls that I like. And I'm excited that they don't have like strange dimensions, like weird foot sizes. That's gonna be a real challenge for me to try to find shoes for them. They really do compare to a standard Barbie doll, and I think the only difference is that their heads are slightly bigger. But even that, I don't know if I'm imagining it, because this doll is a Playline Barbie doll and she's got a similar size head. They don't really look totally out of place, and they're all very cartoony looking here. So I think that I can blend these girls into my collection even with the bright hair colors. So let me know what you guys think about these Defa Lucy dolls. Did I make a mistake getting these two, or which ones would you have picked? There are other dolls in this series that you can choose from as well in different color schemes, but I just like these two the best. I wanted to try these two out. If you guys already have this doll, let me know what you thought about yours and whether or not you rebodied them. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm Gypsy, and this is Broken Dolly TV. Subscribe. You can check out my links in the description box if you are interested in anything you see here in the background, whatever dolls I can list for you guys. I have curated lists in my Amazon storefront that break everything up into groups to make it easier for you to find things. So I'll see you guys next time. Have a dolly day.